happy because then, since I've been walking quite often, I've been looking about how to integrate the inner walk in our life, which is hopefully a whole
Yeah.
opportunity, the good thing out of it.
So maybe just to
Maybe,
be clear, like maybe you could just explain what the inner walk is, just like a few sentences.
of course. So the inner walk is, for me, it's just a practice where I spend time to observe myself at any given moment. So it's like the opportunity that I give myself to be with myself, be with my thoughts, um, and just be there. The thing is, like, as you know, if we both did it, after you start seeing this interaction with the mind, you can feel a bunch of things. And now I'm the point that I'm okay.
Yeah.
This is fun. It's definitely not only disturbance. It's not only like when you remove the mud and it gets like messy the water. It's actually getting calmness, and then I want to like, so what do I do with this now? Like I want to bring it
So
more.
just to make it clear, it's like a meditation technique, like where you don't sit, but you just walk,
You just
right?
walk.
You just
So yeah.
walk.
So if we want to like, let's say we're talking first time about the technique itself. You walk uh, around 50 meters, going
50 meters,
so
and
going
it's in like a hall, right, with a roof, but like open sides.
exactly.
Yeah.
Technically, you could walk anywhere. I've done it at the beach if with different conditions, but definitely over there it would be it would be. I think I have a bug here. Yeah. So it would be 50 meters, going back and forth. In this case, yes, you have the roof, and so you don't have direct position to the sun or something. But you could do it. I've done it in the beach as well.
Yeah.
It's always different. Always different. So yeah, going back and forth, looking in a 45-degree angle, um, going at your own pace. Like you're talking with a body,
Yeah.
and but then I also start feeling and understanding that for me at least there is no really a wrong way of doing it because the more you keep doing it, maybe not only the four day. So basically you do 4 days, 4 hours, and then your life change forever. At least in
Yeah.
my case.
Yeah, it has a big impact on some lives, right? I don't know, like you do it, you said it, like you do it for 4 days, 4 hours, like I did the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then it starts always with like a Dharma talk from the monk.
Exactly.
And then you walk for 4 hours, but you can interrupt the walk. He says you can feel free to take pauses, like you can go to the toilet or have a little snack. Just watch yourself that you don't take too many pauses because then you or too many breaks because then you might be avoiding the practice. I mean, this is what he said to us. Did he like say the like? Would you agree
Yeah,
on that?
actually,
Yeah.
yeah. I've been lucky, so I've been lucky enough to do it with him 2 years ago, and also with a facilitator or volunteer. And then this year I've been doing with some other person. So you can see the difference in the narrative of how the own person put their own style in the walk, on how to explain and help and support the walk of others. And but yeah, it's technically that's how they made me feel. Like it's a it's a personal thing. So if you decide like you need to stop, maybe give it a shot and observe why you want to stop, or why you want to quit the walk or not.
And did you also in the beginning like feel like distractions? Like I don't know, like people because there is also a sharing circle afterwards.
Afterward.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, afterwards where people like share their thoughts and their experience of the walk. And what I found was that also like with myself, that you try to avoid the practice with like you count the steps and then you look around, you see like I did that. I saw what other people were doing, and then I looked, like around the landscape. I was looking what was the monk doing. Is there the facilitator? And there's like a construction site right next to it. I don't know if they're still working on it.
It was not there before, but now it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So and like like you really try to like I don't know, to like avoid being with yourself there, because it kind of like, to me, I had the feeling, it's my personal experience, like it felt to me that yeah, you go here for 4 hours And actually, to me, because the monk says, like you can take breaks whenever you want, but to me this was more like a challenge to take as little breaks as possible, so. And I also found that people in the group were doing it, like not a lot of people, like the people, they didn't take a lot of breaks, so they were actually pretty serious about this exercise. And yeah, I don't know how it is, like how you felt it, but I felt like a lot of, like, I wanted, like, my mind wanted to distract itself from the practice in the beginning, especially in the beginning.
It's funny because yesterday I had a conversation with my girlfriend about it, about this particularly, because I noticed it in the group. So the reason I'm going now more is because I want to maintain the practice. I feel like at least if I do it, sometimes I do it 4 hours, sometimes I do two, sometimes I go just for the sharing circle and a little walk. And then you start seeing these conversations arise in different people in different ways. And to add to your point, I think this show at the end is what it is. It shows us who we are and how the mind, we have been training the mind of giving her the responsibility, a high responsibility, uh, to do stuff for us instead of us being there and seeing the mind working. So when you see yourself going through endurance of not stopping, well, check yourself out. Why not? How do you bring that behavior to life when you're asleep, when you're not actually being aware of it? Because for some people, let's say you have a tendency of quitting and you don't like it. You get frustrated when you see yourself quitting.
Like, you mean, like, in general, you have a
In general, in
tendency
your
of
life,
quitting?
exactly. You get
Like,
a new
okay.
job, it got hard, and you might want to quit it.
Okay.
And you have seen this behavior, this pattern in your life. And then when you are in the walk, I bet your life, you hear a lot of times like, oh, I catch myself, my mind saying, quit, it's painful, what am I doing this, why I'm not at the beach. And that's a moment to actually observe it. And maybe not do anything about it, but definitely give yourself a chance to, like, let me do this. And when you see people actually going through this process and sharing out the cycle, it's like you see a change. And that's what I love about this technique.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna share with you first time. I don't think I did before, but I'm really considering to bring in this practice to Germany
Oh, really?
and to the US,
Yeah.
because I'm lucky, so I have the chance to go back to both places and share this. And it would be a Da Vinci moment for me, definitely, and I'm allowing myself to have the opportunity to think about it. But I think I'm gonna do that next, and that's why I'm keep going also, not only for myself and my own work,
Yeah,
my
I
work.
would love to see it in, like, Europe or the US, like, for sure. I don't know if there are still if there are already places to, like, offer it. I have no idea.
I hear a lot about some vipassanas retreats in
Yeah,
Europe.
Vipassana you have pretty much everywhere, I think. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like the most common one, the most known one. Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't been pretty too much thinking into it. I have been talking with the facilitator now about how could I get good or better, and then the answer is, in the place, it's like you just do it,
Yeah.
just do it.
What I liked about this particular practice was also that you walk and you don't sit. Like, to me, I don't know, like, I have problems like sitting with crossed legs for a very long time.
Yeah.
I know you can do meditation also sitting in a chair.
Mm-hmm.
That's possible, but especially with those Vipassana retreats, I mean, they say it's part of the experience, right? That you sit with crossed legs for like
Yeah.
many hours a day and there is pain. And I also think there is a certain merit to it. It can be, but I'm kind of ambivalent to it because the monk at the inner walk, I forgot his name, but
Orlan.
yeah, he said like he's not so much into Vipassana. I don't know if he like
Yep.
mentioned it to you guys as well. He just said like you don't have to do that to get like to have like a spiritual like progress sort of thing. And to me, like, I really liked it. I don't know how it was for you. Did you experience physical pain like on the first day, second day, or going for like hours? Like, to me, I was totally fine, but in my group, people were complaining, not really complaining, but like sharing that they had like pain in their ankles, in their feet, in their knees, in their hips. But in the end you can, I mean, it's just walking and there is like no real rule, right? You can walk fast, you can walk slow, you can take a break. And I don't know, how was it with you? Like,
For me, I have a flat feet and some bone going in the wrong direction in my foot. So I have been working alignment my body with different people, with osteopath or now with acupuncture guy. And so we're working on align my body in a better way because of my walk. I've been all my muscles and all my skeleton is actually twist, and it creates a lot of tension in my foot and in my whole body, my hips and stuff. Um, so physically, I feel it, but only you know what I actually I've been through both stages as I explained before, like seeing my mind. So I don't know if it happened to you, but it happened to me. Like there is a moment when you start getting to know her, and for me, it's a her.
what is her?
My mind.
Your mind. Okay.
I call
Okay.
it her. Some people call it his or it,
Oh,
or whatever.
fair enough.
So when I got to know her and say, "Hey, nice to meet you," she got uncomfortable.
Oh,
She got really uncomfortable. So she was like, "Yeah, stop this, and why are you here?" I went there without any expectation. I didn't know. I was actually here in Pangan for a completely different reason, and I got to go there and meet her, and she was like really uncomfortable at the beginning. And yes, it was about physical pain at some point, but
so you talk with your mind.
I understood. I oh, that would be more than 30 minutes conversation. Only at this point, I observe my mind, and sometimes I observe the observer observing the mind and the mind interacting with that observer. It's a have been a quite a long process. I don't mean to distract you and the people that could see this talk because it would be something important to maybe just say something about the practice, and it's amazing. To me, it was the same. This practice, I love it because it's simple. You just walk, and second because I don't know, but I tried myself meditation, all the type of meditation before, and they were really frustrated.
Yeah.
Like this thing about like stop the mind or get focused on your breath, all the techniques that you can use, and all these techniques are amazing. But at the beginning, they're hard. In my opinion, they're hard. This is a really simple, even fun process to just
Yeah.
walk and get to know that piece of the word that is there that you might not be aware. I found this with 30 years. I was 30 when I found this at this level, at this level of consciousness.
I think it's also like an easy practice to get into it, you know, because it's just simple walking. You just walk for 15 meters and you just walk back and you just walk back and forth, back and forth. And I mean, for everybody who wants to start it, they should just start it. Like your mind will talk to you.
Yeah,
Will start talking definitely.
either you want it or not.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be like, I remember there was one woman in the sharing circle when I did the experience. She said, yeah, it was quite entertaining, the mind. And then, you know, it was like a movie. You know, she was then like sitting in a chair and just like, okay, I just watch it. I just watch it. And she said she watched it just for like 4 hours. She didn't do like anything. She kind of, she gave in, you know, and she's just like, oh yeah, okay, do whatever you want. And she does, it's quite entertaining. You know, the mind can be quite entertaining.
It could go. I mean, I seen, as you said, I seen in the circle either direction. People get really could get really confused at first, or people can have fun just by seeing these events and this experience happening in their walk during their walk. What I would like to share also here with you is that you need to find your practice. It's not like this is the universe practice. Like this, you need to find what it is. I just found that this is was really simple for me to start.
Yeah.
So I started with this. I was like, oh, there she is, and then I start going deeper in the practice of this observation, and then I even and now I combine it. Now I do sitting meditation.
Yeah.
You found it like challenging for you physically.
Yeah.
but it started getting better.
I think this is how everyone starts out because it's like the most known thing. Again, like sitting meditation. You know, everybody when you think of meditation, like everybody thinks of like sitting there with crossed legs or in a chair. I
Exactly.
think this is how everybody starts out. And yeah, I totally agree. It's like it's just a practice for like to you it's very appealing. I think to me it's a very good fit, but everybody has to find their own practice, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I went from this practice to the reason I was here in Pangan is because my girlfriend was doing a TTC, a yoga teacher training, and we really got into yoga. So in the last 2 years, we have been practicing a lot of yoga at home. I have been personally more into like doing let's call it seated meditation. So basically, it is just going to a quiet state, and mind and heart, I say. And so when I walk, I can see myself trying to bring this practice of um, stillness, and it's quite also an experience, because the practice is different. They both support each other, but especially now when I came back here, I felt the resistance. I even stopped myself and allowed myself to go and do uh, some time of sitting meditation because I was missing the thing. And then something crazy happened. After maybe 6 days walking, Orland said, the monk, our monk, he said something like, "Don't worry," to a new group. "Don't worry that you guys see me sitting here a lot, because when I'm sitting, I'm walking, and when I'm walking, I'm sitting."
And what did he mean by that?
I know it's confusing. I know.
Yeah.
At first, it is confusing. I experience that there is a moment after, for example, let's say in the 4 hours, you might experience or hear someone in the circle saying like, for 1 hour, my mind was really monkey mind, or for 4 hours, as you said with this lady. You you can experience a, a moment. It's just a moment. I cannot tell you if it's 2 seconds, it's 30 minutes, it's an hour. But you can experience a moment that the mind actually gets quiet. As quiet or maybe when you are actually doing focus meditation, and you can just be walking, or
But that's just like a very tiny moment. It's just like it feels like bliss, but it's like a glimpse, you know. It's just like a fraction of a second. To me, it is sometimes when the mind then is quiet and you're just walking.
I agree. But at the end, it's so beautiful,
It
because
is,
it could be, I don't know exactly. It could be 2 seconds. It could be 1 second.
yeah,
But I especially know back then in the time when I was trying to focus meditation, how frustrated you can get. Not only about the physical posture on the body of how you feel, it's just about like, oh my god, this is not stop, you know. And I know how frustrated it can get. So if I get even walking to 1 second of not only awaken, but also like stillness, like you can feel like your mind and yourself, you're just walking, man.
yeah.
That's it. I will walk for hours again.
It's
That's what I'm
beautiful.
doing.
Yeah, it's beautiful, right?
That's what I'm doing it.
And then yeah, and
And
then I told myself that's totally worth this 1 second of bliss of like total like freedom. That's worth the 4 hours walking of back and forth, and like all the rumbling that is going on in the mind. It's totally worth it. Like to me as well. Sure.
I and that's why then also I've been to a point now that I remember 2 years ago feeling I'm a person that cares a lot about others, and I made my peace with it.
You care a lot about others.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
I'm like it's a fundamental thing about myself, part of who I am. And after a lot of observation, I accepted, and only accepted, I embraced it as a part of me.
Yeah. That's very good.
Uh, and then I've been always like, so when you talk with people, people are like a lot looking for this purpose, or different people look for different things, but you can hear this quite a lot, right? And it looks like it doesn't matter what I do. I tend to, I mean, even professionally, so as a computer science or as a painter or as a whatever I tend to do it. I always look at this place. It could be even with the person that I'm working with. It could be with someone that I actually working for, family, friends, whatever. And this is like offering me an opportunity that I cannot let go. I think in this case, I see I see an opportunity here, like really offer something powerful to someone in 4 days, 4 hours a day, one talk at the beginning, one sharing circle on the end, and after those 4 days, let's see what happens to others. And I'm just gonna be there to see it, to observe like how someone's life could actually be impacted in a really positive way. That's it.
That's nice.
That's in a walk.
That's in a walk.
That's in a walk.